Hello you lovely lot, hope you're all keeping well. This week's episode is with the lovely Sarah Walker, where we talk all things supporting the Unsung hero. It's a free business startup course open to all members of the military community. This episode is jam-packed full of business tips, alongside a little bit of Sarah's background, so I know you'll find it really, really useful if you are running your own business. But before we get started, I want to tell you about the great week that we've had within the Millspo community. We've had the Wednesday Millspo meetups, which are little informal chats where we get together each week, share loads of business knowledge with each other and make sure that we're all doing okay. If you're not a member of the Millspo business community over on Facebook, then where have you been? You're really, really missing out. It is a very lovely, supportive group, chock full of business leaders who offer peer-to-peer support for people just like you. So do head over to Facebook and search for the Millspo business community and come and join us. Now, this whole series has been supported by the Royal British Legion, and they have something very important to say. The Royal British Legion understand that being a service family can sometimes put pressure on your career. That's why they offer employment support to all members of our Armed Forces community. Whether it's helping to write a CV, advice on educational grants, or getting a qualification to help you take the next step in your career, they've got your back. Just search for the Royal British Legion online. So now on to the episode with the lovely Sarah Walker. I really hope you enjoy it. Sarah, thank you so much for joining me today.
No problem, Jess. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited. We have known each other for ages now. I was on cohort 2 of the Support the Unsung Hero business startup course, which I think was like way back in 2013. It feels like a lifetime ago. But the things I learned in it have been so useful to me ever since. If you haven't been on one of these courses, then you are definitely missing out. So for those who have missed it, Sarah, could you please tell us a little bit about the course and why you believe it's so important?
Yeah, so thanks, Jess. Supporting the Unsung Heroes is a business startup programme for the Armed Forces community. So we've been running the programme now since 2012 when we first launched the programme all that time ago. So yes, Jess, we've known each other for just over 8 years. So time does go on very quickly. So in essence, Supporting the Unsung Heroes is a all-rounder business startup programme. So we teach you everything you could possibly need to know and an awful lot more about running a business. We help you make sure it's the right thing you want to do, so developing your idea to right through the nitty-gritty of working through business planning, finance, business networking and support as well. So the programme in itself is a first introduction sort of seminar where you get to learn about what business is all about to see if you're ready for the next stage. And then the full course, which is a 4-day business startup program training that you can work through everything. So we go through from developing your idea, developing your business plan, looking at your marketing sort of scenarios and really getting to the in-depth look of what your customers are all about. And then we look at finance. So we look at all the things that scare people most to death, things like cash flows, profit and losses, break-evens. But we make it really simple. So we make sure that everything we teach you is stuff that you'll use day in, day out for your business. So we're not one of those courses that will teach you the 600 marketing mixes and things like that. This is practical stuff that you'll use for your business day in, day out, and you'll use it every step of the way. And then our day 4 is very much an interactive day of how you can support and start communicating and start talking about your business and develop those important skills of communication around your business. And then after that, you get more support. So you then enter into our one-to-one mentoring, which is where you can really start to hone down on your idea, develop things and move forward, ask those questions that you might have been worried about before or a bit too shy to ask in the course, and really work on that one-to-one basis to develop things further and see how you get on with that. So that then continues for another 10 months after the 4-day course. And then alongside that, we do group mentoring, we have cuppa and a chat, we have various interaction on our Facebook pages as well, so you get support from everybody else that's been there and done it as well. So it's quite a full-on course, and it's all free, so which is even better.
So good and really, really important. I think I went on it because I just started on my business and it was confusing. I didn't know where to start, and then there was this amazing course which you mentioned is free, and it really just sort of set sets you up. And you're right, it is not frightening, because that's the worry when you're starting a business, is where do you start, where do you go, what do you do? So you mentioned that it's free, which of course I love, but what kind of businesses do you have on the course and who can access it?
It's available to any business, so we don't tick anybody just because you're not the right business or you don't fit. It is open to anybody who's got an idea. So if you've just thought about, business is something I'm interested in, then come along to one of our introduction sessions, because that will really decide whether it's something you want to go further with or not. So it can be, even for those early stages, just got an idea that I want to work with and develop and sort of progress with if you want to or not. So there's no pressure either way. Type of businesses, we've pretty much had it all, right from small sort of cottage industry type businesses doing crafts and sort of small scale businesses, whether it's part-time or full-time, it doesn't matter. We make sure we give you all the skills to make sure that is something you want to and be the success that you want it to be, right up to high-end people that are running sort of big sort of salons or anything like that and employing huge members of staff as well. So it's really for anybody, for any idea you've got, for any business type you want to do as well. So we don't care. If it's business is something you want to learn about, then this is the course that you want to come along to, because we'll give you all that information. We don't pressurise you. So at the end of the course you think, nah, it's not for me. We're just happy that we've been able to give you some skills that you can work for in your next sort of challenge, your next adventure you go forward with. So for anybody really, got an idea, then that's a place to start.
And I loved it because when I did it all those years ago, gosh, it does feel like a lifetime ago. So obviously my husband's in the Air Force and I was there, but there were loads of different people from loads of different backgrounds. What is the criteria? Do you have to be married?
No, so the criteria is that you just have to be a member of the Armed Forces community. So the course is heavily orientated towards families, so spouses, but you don't have to be married. We normally suggest that you have to be living with, but we're not monitored by the MOD for criteria or hitting like that. So just having that connection too is fine. So wife, girlfriend, partner, other half, whatever you want to call yourself, you're eligible in that respect. And then it's also available to veterans and reservists as well, and families of those as well. So it's pretty much open to all. The only restriction is we can only take a small number of veterans and reservists, because it is predominantly for families more than anything. So 70% of the course is always families, so because they're the people we want to support going forward, and how the course is sort of developed from. So yeah, if you're a member of that family and over the age of 16, then you can join it.
Brilliant, I love it. And such a good way to connect with all those different people in the community and start building that network. That was what I loved most about it. I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit frightened about the finance stuff. I think everybody, like you mentioned earlier, is a little bit intimidated. But you gave us really good knowledge that you can apply. But no, it was the networking bit that I love so much, and meeting other people running their own business. So which part of the course do you love most, Sarah?
It's an interesting question. I like it all. I like to see people for the first time and seeing what sort of ideas or constraints they might have at that first day, and then seeing how they develop throughout that course, and such a change that people have just in a short space of a month by just learning a new skill or having an idea that they've had for so long that they can think that they can now make a reality. So it's nice to see people on that first day, and then to see that change come day 4, getting to mix and everything along that sort of base. Day 4 very much is our interactive day. So we do a lot of presentation skills, communications, and it's lovely to start to see people coming out of their shell then and starting to talk about their businesses and talk about where they've come from, and all that sort of side of it is really quite an interesting side. And most people, probably yourself, Jess, as well, on day 1, when we first tell people they're going to do a pitch come day 4, are petrified of doing it, and a lot of them say, I'm not going to do that. But out of just over 1,000 people we've had go through the programme, we've only had one person not do that pitch, and that's because she wasn't very well, so we would let her off. So as much as people were scared of doing a pitch come day 1, not everybody's done it come day 4, so that's really good, and it shows that the course works in that respect to give people the confidence to stand up and talk about their business as well.
Yeah, because that's the thing, when you talk about starting a business or going into business, it's all big and scary and sort of men in suits. But I love this course because it's so approachable and just easy to access and easy to get the information from you. And that's because, Sarah, you have such a wealth of experience, and we've chatted about this. We had a very long car drive. I think it was to Catterick or somewhere, you and me. Brilliant. That was good fun getting to know each other. And your business background is quite extensive. So for those who haven't met you and haven't spoken to you about it, could you tell us a little bit about your business experience and a little bit more about you?
Yeah, so where did it all start really? So back when I finished university, I went into a small business. I worked in a small business to start with, and we made gifts out of wood. Very interesting. And that's probably where my first business experience came from, because they were such a family business, and how they sort of wanted to develop that. And it sort of really inspired me that, even the smallest of families, or the connected of families, there's a business there in everyone really. I started to look at things and started to think of ideas and things at that time. Didn't go forward at that time. I decided then to move on to and work in a bank. So that's where I developed my sort of finance knowledge and learned how to do all things finance, unfortunately. So I worked within NatWest Bank for some considerable period of time and worked through the ranks there, it was good because it gave me that sort of background sort of information about lending and finance, of what sort of things banks look at. And it wasn't till I was probably working for NatWest that I started to work with the Prince's Trust and working with young people in terms of helping them start a business and developing their sort of loan applications at that point. And that's where sort of my passion for business startups started. So I worked with young people, helping them start their business. And then when I got pregnant and had my first daughter, I started my first business, which was cake decorating. So I used to make celebration cakes. Started obviously, as most people do, selling to friends and family, and developing that sort of business going on from there, which worked very well until I figured out that it used to really annoy me that I used to spend hours making these cakes, and then all people would do was cut them up and smash them and eat them after I spent hours making them. So there was a bit of a flaw in that business somewhere along the line. So obviously it didn't make the success I wanted it to be, but it probably gave me that first stepping stone into business. And then I went on to develop a toy library, again, as my children were young, and it sort of fitted around my time with them at that sort of time. And then I developed my first training school probably 3-4 years later on that, working with people in prisons and developing that sort of training aspect of it. And then started working within business startup from that sort of point on, and then ran various different consultancy businesses alongside that as well, and moved forward on that sort of basis, as well as supporting people. And I went into the business startup enterprise back in the day of Business Link, just over probably 17 years ago. I started with Business Link, supporting people start a business and sort of develop that skill going forward to today, and the launch of Unsung Heroes back in 2012.
So you've got loads of experience, which I find brilliant, because it's not just the course where you day 1 to day 4 where you sit there and you learn stuff. We can ask you questions, use your experience, and bounce off you, which I really, really like that sort of fact that you're always there and championing us and looking after us. Even, gosh, what do we say, 8 years later, I can still give you a ring if I'm a little bit stuck and you sort me out. So because you are an expert on all things business, what do you think are your best business tips if maybe somebody is listening to this, they've just started their business or they're thinking about starting one?
I would say the thing is to get support right from the beginning. If you've got an idea that's something you've got, get out there and go on a course, whether it's supporting the Unsung Heroes or any others that are available to you. Go and learn those key things first, whether you can get that quick snapshot to make sure it's something you want to go into. So get that bit of experience and that sort of advice right from that early stages. The next thing is business planning. Anybody that's been on the course will know how much I preach about how important a business plan is and how it helps you focus, bring all those ideas to reality, and making sure fundamentally this business is actually going to work. So business planning all the way is the most important thing anybody can start to complete and write about. But first instance is go and get a bit of support, go get a bit of advice, and start that journey with a little bit of knowledge to make sure it's the right thing you want to do, and go forward with it, and to just get on with it. Just do it. I think it's something we should all do in life, is start a business at some point in time, whether it's success or not. I think the skills running a business gives you as an individual is incredible. The confidence that it can give you as well. So it's something I think we should all try at least once, if not more. And it is incredible what it gives back to you as an individual as well. So yeah, business plans and just get on with it.
Yeah, no, great. No, that's brilliant advice, because in this military community, especially when you're partnered to somebody, you do sort of lose your confidence a little bit. Maybe if you have children, you lose your identity. And actually, I think starting a business is it changed my life massively, because it gave me my own thing that I am, that's me. I'm Jess, the business owner, no longer just a plus one to my husband. And I think you're right. I think everybody should give it a go, because there are good skills and it is good fun. It's tough, but it is really good fun, which sort of brings me on to talking about the community. There's loads and loads of spouses. Gosh, you must have seen so many of them. Who are the ones that have stuck in your mind, or who are the ones that inspire you most?
That's quite an interesting question. I don't know whether I can name anybody specifically, but I think the whole community as a whole is quite inspiring, because we've had people come on the course that were petrified even to attend day one, that we've had to support them right in those early stages just to have enough confidence to come and attend the day one of the course, and seeing that those individuals grow and develop, and seeing how they change over a matter of a month to the years and things that have gone by as well. And we see that quite a lot, because, as you know, Jess, confidence is something we all lack as women, and having something that we can learn and develop and see that, okay, this is a business I want to do right now. It's something I want to develop and move forward with. It doesn't have to be the long-term goal. It can be something I can adapt to move with me, what's suitable for now, or with my children, or whatever that might be. But we've had some incredible people, and every time I do a course, it still seems to amaze me. There's some of the people that have been through so much, both personally, and how they're still dedicated enough to start this business and move through that and change their life, really. Because a lot of people might attend the course, think this is something I can just do as to fill some time, but then use this business to actually to be the second income, or even more so now the first level of income in their family household as well, which is just fantastic. And just a moment ago, I was just speaking to Holly, who's on cohort 6. I haven't spoken to her for a couple of years, and we just had a quick catch up 5 minutes ago, and it was just lovely to see how she's progressed, and how she was pregnant when she first came on the course, and her little one's now 5, and how she sort of developed her business and moved forward, things like that as well, and how she's had to, it's not been easy for her, but where she is now is just incredible. So I have so many people, I don't think I can even name them, to be fair, Jess.
No, you're right. There is. And it's kind of like this strange transformative thing that we go through, where, well, I had it. I was a little bit lost at the start, and you sort of picked me up and dusted me off and gave me a bit of a direction, which I think is the most important thing. And it's not, for me, it's not about being Alan Sugar, and it's not about making millions. Far from it, actually. But it's the fact that I can do this every day, and I can do the Millspo stuff, or I can do my design work, and it's for me. And in the tough times that military life throws at us, it gives us something to look forward to and to look on. And I think that's why it's so important that the Support and the Unsung Hero course exists, because it gives us that foundation. And I think it's just really important, and I'm really proud to share it, and I really appreciate you coming to talk about it, because I'm always banging on to people about it, so it's nice to have it from your word of mouth, and to be able to share it with even more people. But recently, obviously, the world has gone a little bit upside down, inside out. We have moved online. COVID has kind of put a bit of a twist on things. So you're taking the Unsung Hero course online. How's that working out?
Yeah, so it's been interesting times, like you said. I've obviously gone from face-to-face delivery to more online support. So the first thing we changed was our introduction seminars, which we used to run in the local hives. They're now monthly online sort of sessions. So that's that quick snapshot of running a business. It's an hour-and-a-half webinar. And now the course, due to COVID and due to restrictions, we are looking, well, they will be all online now for the rest of this year. And we had our first online course run just last week. And it went well. Different. I'm not going to say it's not, because obviously online learning is very different than physical learning. But yes, it went down very well. It worked very well. Connection stayed live, so that was good. And going back from the feedback, it seems very positive. Everyone enjoyed it. So it will be something we'll be doing to ensure that we can make sure that we can support everybody through these difficult times and help them make sure that, you know, business is something we can still look at moving forward and develop as well. While we've got the time, we can utilise it to the best way, and online courses can definitely deliver on that respect as well. And not only that, we're doing specifically online courses for overseas bases as well. So we'll be doing one specifically for Cyprus and the regulations in Cyprus, and then on other European bases as well. So it gives more people a chance to join the programme as well, and doesn't mean I have to travel up and down the country so much, which is good.
Because that's the thing. I've worked out, I get a lot of people asking me about overseas postings and how to take a business. And I have no experience in that, and you're always my go-to person. Because that's the thing, isn't it? It's great if you start your business and run it in this country, and there's a load of support. But I found what's lacking is the knowledge around overseas postings. But you're able to deliver that now.
Yeah, I mean, we did anyway. We did do the European bases, so we did Cyprus and numerous European bases as well. So, but myself and the team are very clued up in terms of trading in Europe, trading in Cyprus, both on and off the base as well. So we make sure we cover all the legalities around that as well. So it's not easy to get your head round. And each base tends to be quite different overseas as well. So you have to make sure you dot the I's and cross the T's so you don't do anything wrong in that respect. But we make sure that we give all the right, relevant, up-to-date information around that as well. So people do everything legally, both legally from outside the base, but also inside the base as well. So we'll make sure we deliver on that, and that'll be the same online as well.
Which is why it's so important that you have so much experience. And I think it's brilliant that you know that, because that's something that definitely falls between the cracks, doesn't it? The people getting posted abroad and not entirely knowing how to do it or what to do.
Yeah, definitely. Because, you know, being posted overseas, if you manage to get your business set up in the UK and then suddenly you're posted to Cyprus, there is things you need to put in place over there that are different from the UK. But it's not as scary as you think. It just needs somebody to talk it through with you and move forward with that business in that overseas location. So it's possible. But we're here to support everybody that wants to do that, and we do. So anybody that's been on the course and then somebody's posted out, I'll go through all the regulations that they require to move aboard and take their business with them. So even as we change and we go through this change period of Brexit as well, we're making sure all our trainers are up to date with those laws and regulations as well.
Yeah, because you'd be so miffed if you built this amazing business and then got posted abroad. I mean, gosh, I'm not sure I could talk to my husband if that happened, but luckily you are there and you'd be able to sort me out, which is just brilliant. So the Support the Unsung Hero is temporarily online. We're going to go back to real life stuff, I promise. I'm sure. I'm holding out every hope that we will. It's just brilliant. I love it. I can't stop telling people how fab it is. Clearly you're not going anywhere. So what are the plans for the course going forward?
So the plans are, we'll be developing the online course every time we run it, so that we will be probably continuing that into next year. We'll be running part physical courses and part online courses, so they will continue next year, but we will be doing the physical courses, well, COVID all being well, we will be, and they will continue going forward into next year. And we're just going to keep developing it and moving with the times, really, to make sure that everybody gets as much support as they possibly can. And business is something, if they want to do it, then we will support them every step of the way, and to make sure that we work with all the other organisations to make sure that that experience continues. So working with yourself, Jess, with Millspo and directing people, so it's all about that community and building it up right from that early days and helping them along the way in terms of making your business successful that it needs to be.
Yes, so important, because we do all talk to each other and we do all support each other and spread this stuff around, because there's so much goodness out there, you being one of them, obviously. So I've said an awful lot about how fab this course is, but if anybody's listening and they want to find out more about it, or they want to sign up to come onto an online course or maybe a real life one in the future, how can they find you?
So we will be launching our new website, which is sportingtheunsunghero.co.uk, which is currently available but will be more fancy dancy in the next couple of months. So obviously you can find us on there. Our Facebook page is probably the easiest way. Most people come through our Facebook page and you can message us directly through there. So that's Facebook at Supporting the Unsung Hero. All the other social medias we're available on, so you can get us through there, or drop us an email to suh@wlb.ac.uk, And yeah, anyway, just get in touch. We don't mind whichever way you want to do. Just get in touch as much as you can. And if you've got any questions or concerns, or you're not sure whether it's right for you right now, then just pick up the phone, drop us an email, drop us a direct message, whatever's easiest for you, then just get in touch. So I'd rather you ask the question than worry about it. And whether this is right for you right now or it's something you want to do in the future, then just get in touch, really, yeah.
Yeah, and please do, if you are listening and you think this might be something that you're interested in, please do it. I promise you, I've been on so many of these free courses or this stuff that's provided for us, and some of it is not great, but this, I promise you, is really good and it will help you. It's a great startup if you are thinking about business or you have your own business. Sarah, I've loved talking to you. It's so nice to catch up with you. Thank you for all of your hard work. Honestly, even though I keep saying it over and over again, the course did change so much of my life all those years ago. And I genuinely appreciate it. And I really appreciate all your hard work. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Jess. Really appreciate it.
Oh, another thank you to the lovely Sarah for sharing all about the Supporting the Unsung Hero course. If you haven't already been on it, then do go and find it online and sign up, because it can really, really make a difference to your business. So that is it for me today. Thank you so much for listening again. Thank you for all of your lovely comments over on social media, and of course those amazing reviews that you've been putting on Apple Podcasts. It makes such a difference to me, and I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Right, I am off, but do not worry, I will be back next week with another inspirational episode. So I shall see you then.